All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jenna Montgomery, and I'm at Saxe High School. I teach food science and intro to culinary arts. Today, moderating is the wonderful Joanna Funkhauser from Garland High School, and she teaches AP Physics. In both of our classrooms, our kids are allowed to use their iPads for technology, and then I also have the ability to have laptop computers when needed, because our career and technology department has bought a set of laptops that are used for career and technology students. Today, we're going to be covering the ins and outs of Lead4ward, which is a website, but it's also available as an app. And this makes a difference in the lives of our students by helping educators focus on their work, creating structures that give teachers and students a sense of hope and confidence, and supporting leaders with systems that they can trust. Before I start looking into the Lead4ward app, or today I'm actually going to look into the website, I thought when I kept hearing Lead4ward, I thought it was just a got you tool used by administrators during the classroom walkthroughs, but it's really so much more. It has a plethora of assets that teachers can pull from to help frame and enhance lessons. In this webinar, we'll cover the different parts of Lead4ward and address how teachers can use each section to up their teaching game. But first, I want to talk to you guys about the ISTE standards, which stands for International Standards for Technology and Education, that Lead4ward covers. The first one for teachers is standard number 1, and that is to facilitate and inspire student learning and creativity. Teachers use their knowledge of subject matter, teaching and learning, and technology to facilitate experiences that advance student learning, creativity, and innovation in both face-to-face and virtual environments. They do this by promoting and supporting and modeling creative and innovative thinking and intentiveness. They engage students in exploring real-world issues and solving authentic problems using digital tools and resources. They promote student reflection on collaborative tools to reveal and clarify students' conceptual understanding and thinking, planning, and creative process. And they also model collaborative knowledge construction by engaging and learning with students, colleagues, and others face-to-face and in virtual environments. It also covers standard 1 of the ISTE standards for students, which is empowered learners. So students can leverage technology to take an active role in choosing, achieving, and demonstrating competencies in their learning goals informed by the learning sciences. You can actually, if you'll start paying attention to the screen, I'm going to kind of show you a little bit about that. And you can access Lead4ward in 2 different ways. The one that I have today is actually the website, but you can also obtain the app through the App Store. And both have pros and cons, so really it's best for you just to kind of play around and see which one you like better. I use the app quite a bit in the classroom on the fly. If we're doing something and I need a quick brain break or activity to help my kids refocus, I'll use the app. But when I'm planning my lessons, I use the website. So now I'd like to talk to you guys about Lead4ward. Have you ever wondered how to effectively implement TEKS or increase the rigor in instruction or interpret the STAR and EOC data? Lead4ward actually has the tools to help you in those areas, and there are tons of free online resources right there at your fingertips. So what I want to draw your attention to is the resources tab. This is pretty much where I live on the Lead4ward website. And so when we click on that, it shows us this page right here. And the first thing that you can see is the content builder. And if you scroll all the way down, we get down to the high school EOC tested subjects. You can see them right here. So you have the snapshot, which let's just click on math and you can kind of look at what it looks like. And it just kind of shows you what your standards are and the knowledge and skills statements that the students need. And then as you scroll down further, it gives you your readiness standards and supporting standards. And it kind of goes through, and then it shows you how many questions are generally being asked, I believe. Hold on, that might be on another page. I'm sorry. I may be getting ahead of myself. Yes, I am. We'll go back to that in just a minute. Sorry. All right. And then you have like the scaffolding things for it. You can go in here under the release test, and the IQ stands for investigating the question. Again, you can go in there and kind of look at those. These are really great tools for tested subjects. The academic vocabulary that you can use. This works in a lot of different subjects, but it mainly sticks to the tested EOC subjects. And then also your student learning reports. I don't deal a whole lot with these. Neither does Joanna, because neither of us really teach tested EOC tested subjects. But it is nice. I kind of go over a few of the academic vocabulary words as we get closer to the EOC testing times with my students. I try to go in there and get a few of those vocabulary words to see how I can better support the standards. Up here we have also the data tools. And again, you can go through and kind of look at these and see what works best for you. But the thing that I mainly work with and that I live in is the instructional tools. Down here on this instructional strategies playlist, it comes up with a bunch of different things that you can actually do with your students, or ideas that you can use with your students. So you click on that, and this piece of information pops up. And then you can kind of look. So if you need something with movement for your kids or something like that, you can click on it. So if I click on this, then I've got a whole idea on how, on a lesson that I could, or something that I can incorporate into my lesson to help my students out. And then some questions and things like that that you can also ask them to get them motivated to learn and really kind of keep them engaged in the lesson. You also have quick checks, make sure that our kids are learning what we want them to learn as we're learning. And again, if you look, there are 11 different pages of quick checks that you can learn. So you've got this 3, 2, 1 summary. So the students are going to write 3 things they learned, 2 examples, applications, or inferences that about what they learned, and then 1 question or draw 1 conclusion. And then you get them to stand up, find a partner, do a walk and talk, sharing their summaries, and then add at least 1 more idea to their summary. It's kind of also some of the things that it's helping them do. It's helping them clarify their thinking, asking questions, listening for important words, and then also making some different connections. There's also the Think It Up. And this looks completely different on the iPad. I think that these parts are a lot more user-friendly on the iPad than they are on the website. But you have here where you can analyze and interpret. It talks about, adding something in, analyze or interpret the chart or the data or the graphic that you've given them. What are the important parts? What do they mean? And you can go through, and it just kind of gives you some questions, things to up the rigor in what you're teaching and make the kids have a little bit deeper level thinking going on. And then also these thinking stems, and you can get them in an English version and in a Spanish version, which is pretty neat. But it also, and then it goes through the different, analyze and interpret. So you can add your things in, or just give them this, and then they have to add the answers into it. So it really helps them, dive deeper into what they're trying to understand and trying to learn. So, and if you get lost and you're confused, which oftentimes, I'm not going to lie, I am, there is a section right here for learning videos. And under those learning videos, you can go through, and it actually tells you like how to use some of these things. So it'll tell you how to use the student learning report. And they're anywhere from about 5 to 15 minutes on the videos. Very user friendly. You can stop and go back and look. You can pause it. And then, for example, let me just show you, like under this academic vocabulary and how to use that academic vocabulary section. Then you also have the video that should pop up here and it'll play. So it's about 6 minutes and 33 seconds. And then you have helpful resources right here that you can go to. And like if you click on it, because you want to know a little bit more about it, you'll be in the right spot, but you can also come back up here to your first top tab and you're right back to where you started. So even if you're at, a minute and 23 seconds, it'll come back exactly to there. So you don't have to try to remember that and refocus. So, and then it also gives you a couple of other things, like after you've done this one, if you want to watch some of these videos, you can watch these videos also to help you. And then it says e-guides, and these are also some videos that you can go to. So it's quite a few resources just to help you understand exactly what the kids need to learn, what their expected outcomes are supposed to be, and then give you some resources on how to help them get to that point and achieve success in your class. I would tell you definitely that you need to go in and you need to go in through the website and play around. And again, you need to go into the app and play around and see which one you like better, because again, I use the app on the fly. It's very user friendly. It's not got, it doesn't look like it has as many things on it. There's not as many buttons to press and as many ways, if you will, to get lost as it does here on the website, but it's all very user friendly. And it really, it's changed the way that I teach, especially when I'm using these things right here. Like I said, I stay in resources, and then instructional tools is really where I stay. So I would suggest you guys go in, play around, and really try to see what would work best in your class. And I'm positive that the other resources that I am not nearly as familiar with right here will really help you with your classes if you have a class that you are tested in, a core subject tested class. So anyhow, at this time, we would like to answer any questions that you all may have. There's a comment tool over there on the right-hand side of your webinar, and Joanna and I would be happy to answer any questions that you guys may have. And while we're answering those questions, I am going to pull up our Twitter handles. We would love for you guys to follow us on Twitter. You can ask us questions there. If we don't know the answer, we know the people who do know the answers. And so we will get back to you as quickly as we can. Or you can also always email us. I did just get an email from the district saying that there were some issues with the Google Drive, so I guess it's not going to come up the way it's supposed to, but I guess you all can see it from there too. Okay, well, I guess if there are no questions, then we just ask that you guys go ahead and look over to the right. Joanna is now adding the CPE link. If you guys will click on that and fill out that form, you'll get your credit for being at this webinar. We really appreciate you guys tuning in today, and we hope to see you at our next webinar. Thanks.